Hi, I'm David. This video will cover the following topics: how a driver's attitude on the road can have an impact on their driving, why defensive driving is different from safe driving, identify common driving errors and how they impact traffic flow and safety, discuss major causes of collisions and how they can be avoided, discuss major factors that can affect driving and show how near misses can be a valuable learning tool, show common defensive driving techniques when picking up, transporting, and dropping off passengers, and the importance of sharing the road with other users. This is not an official defensive driving course, and it is for general information only. It is meant for use by drivers in the ground transportation industry and others who drive as part of their job. Our definition of defensive driving is driving proactively to minimize the poor driving skills of other road users and how to use best practices to increase driving skills and avoid collisions. We use the term collisions. Most accidents are not accidental. They are caused by one or more errors made by one or more drivers, resulting in property damage, injury, and sometimes death. How people understand their roles and responsibilities as motorists and how they integrate this understanding into their on-road behavior largely determines how safely they drive. So you might say safe driving is at least as much an attitude as it is knowledge or a skill. Ultimately, no amount of learning is useful if you choose to ignore it. Safe driving is the trademark of a professional driver. You might say that safe driving is a proactive attitude toward driving by which you take responsibility for the safety of you and your passengers. Don't blame others for their poor driving and on-road mistakes. Take responsibility for your actions. Safe driving does not focus solely on the actions of others as much as on what you, as a professional driver, can do to compensate for other drivers' mistakes. Let's look at the most common distractions. Here are the top 10 driver distractions. Number 10, smoking related 1%. Yes, about 1 in 100 accidents is related to lighting a cigarette, smoking, or putting out a butt. Since we don't allow smoking in our vehicles, it should be easy for you to avoid this one. But remember, other drivers may be smoking in their cars, and with changing attitudes towards cannabis, this may be a growth distraction. Number 9, moving objects. Things moving around in the car, such as unsecured assistive devices like walkers or canes, or dropped water bottles or coffee cups, can cause you to take your eyes off the road. And at least one police source suggests that it may be the most underreported case of distracted driver collisions. Number 8, using devices and controls to operate the vehicle. Surprisingly, adjusting things like mirrors or seat belts, turning on air conditioning, or changing a CD, USB drive, or radio station plays a role in distraction-related car accidents. Make the changes while the vehicle is stopped. Number 7, eating or drinking. Every car has cup holders, and using them can be a definite source of distraction. Don't eat in your car ever, and drink only when stopped. Number 6, using devices while driving. We all know that using devices like cell phones and GPSs can take our minds off the task of driving, but it turns out that even reaching for them can lead to a serious accident. Number 5, other occupants. Interacting with passengers in your vehicle can place major demands on your attention when you're driving, which can result in a collision. It is simply not possible to fully concentrate on driving and fully concentrate on your passenger at the same time. Make sure you have all of the information you need before you start. Number 4, persons, objects, or events happening outside of the vehicle. Rubbernecking can account for 7% of all accidents. It turns out that looking at something or someone outside, like gawking at an accident or at people in their other cars, is even more of a distraction than what's happening in your vehicle. Number 3, tailgating. Following another vehicle too closely or having someone too close behind you is a very dangerous situation and a major cause of collisions. Number 2, cell phone use, 12%. The second leading cause of deaths due to distraction-related car accidents won't be a surprise to anyone, as cell phones can distract us in a number of ways. Texting requires your complete concentration. Only text when not driving, and if you must talk on a mobile phone, use a wireless headset. And the number one cause of traffic accidents is inattentive or lost in thought drivers. The figure could be as high as 62% of all collisions. By far, the biggest cause of distracted driving fatalities is a driver's mind wandering for long enough to lead to a collision and someone's death. This is driver fatigue, folks. Just get enough rest. Space management. A great number of collisions can be attributed to poor space management on part of the motorists. We recommend that you always maintain an appropriate distance between you and the vehicles around you. This distance is your cushion of safety. Section 158, subsection 1 of the Highway Traffic Act requires that the driver of a motor vehicle shall not follow more closely than is reasonable and prudent, having due regard for the speed of the vehicle and the traffic on and conditions of the highway. Maintaining an effective cushion of safety in accordance with traffic, road, or weather conditions is the essence of space management. It's not just watching out front and back. Space management is keeping a watch on what is happening beside you and watching out for cyclists and pedestrians. To determine whether your cushion of safety is appropriate, you must constantly keep an eye out for potential hazards. Do not focus on any one place or thing for too long. Keep your eyes moving. Check your distance to the vehicle in front. Use the 3-second rule. Watch when the vehicle in front passes an object on the road. Start counting. 1001, 1002, 1003. Your vehicle should only then be passing the same object. Other drivers who are tailgating or following you too closely are more difficult to deal with. It is generally accepted the best practice to control them is to pull over when it is safe to do so and allow them to pass. Avoid eye contact, as tailgating may be a sign of road rage. And speaking of road rage, never retaliate, race, or stop your vehicle to confront another driver. Remain calm, and when it is safe to do so, fill out a detailed incident report. Safe driving practices are using a variety of different skills to keep you and your passengers safe on the road. Here is something you may not expect: learning from not having an accident. Near misses and close calls can teach us and other drivers a lot about how to avoid situations that lead to collisions. At the conclusion of this video, we will share stories about that almost incident and what we can learn from them. Thank you very much for watching.